I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Ezra, chapter 3. Let's focus on verses 1 through 3. When the 7th month arrived, after the people of Israel had resettled in the towns, the people gathered with one accord in Jerusalem. And then Joshua, the son of Jehozadak, with his fellow priest, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, with his kinsmen, organized rebuilding the altar of the God of Israel, so that they could offer burnt offerings on it, as written in the Torah of Moses, the man of God. And they set up the altar on its former basis, despite feeling threatened by the peoples of the surrounding countries, and they offered on it burnt offerings to the Lord, the morning and the evening burnt offerings. You know, in an age when most people never enter the doors of a place of worship on the Sabbath, and when the majority of others have dismissed belief in Jesus as irrelevant and outdated, well, it's vital that we ask ourselves some pertinent questions. As Christians, we claim to have the true gospel, and yet why are we making so little impact on the unreached masses? Ezra chapter 3 spells out 4 essential ingredients for spiritual blessing: unity, zeal, obedience, and worship. And these components are indispensable. Can't live without them. And they're found in every period of revival. Hence, they are urgently needed today. When the Jews returned to Jerusalem, they found the temple in ruins, and their task was to restore the worship of God and rebuild the temple. Our task is very simple. We must ask the Lord what job He has set aside for each of us. This is so we can aid in the restoration of worship and build the temple made with human stones, that is, the greater community of the Messiah in our generation. And we find those answers for our dilemma in Ezra chapter 3. As we study today's chapter, bear in mind the primary reason for God's choosing Israel is the same reason as He has chosen to establish the church, so that unbelievers may observe us and learn His pattern for how His people worship Him. The mission of God's people, ancient and modern, is that we would bear witness of Him to those who have yet to know Him in a saving way, and to encourage believers who are yet to worship Him rightly. So, in considering the 4 essential ingredients for revival, perhaps it helps to ask a few simple questions, and it may help you to analyze whether you're being a catalyst for or a hindrance of revival. So, number 1, is there a fellow believer with whom you have a disagreement? Number 2, is there a lack of zeal, and is it frustrating your ministry leader and holding back God's favor on your congregation? In short, you ask yourself, am I the Jonah who needs to be thrown overboard? Number 3, would I respond to God? How would I respond if He were to ask me if I truly believe that I'm living according to His word? Number 4, is the Savior who shed His blood for me more precious than anyone or anything else in my life? Number 5, does my worship focus attention on men or on God? And finally, what could I be doing to increase unity, zeal, obedience, and worship in my congregation? I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. You know, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And your giving to Groundworks Ministries transforms lives. Would you consider making a donation to Groundworks Ministries today? We need your monthly support now more than ever. Donating is secure and easy on our website, groundworksministries.com. You know, another way to help is to tell people about Groundworks Ministries. Share these podcasts with your friends and family and on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.